Hello, welcome back, and thank you so much for watching. Today I'm going to be taking you for a ride on the best trail in the Grand Valley. Yes, I said it, the best trail in the Grand Valley. That is a bold claim, I am aware, but today I will try and explain why I think Horsetheif Bench is the best trail in the Grand Valley. Before you even get to Horsetheif, from where I usually park, you need to take a short trip down the road or on the side trails along the road and take a right-hand turn and start the climb up Mary's. The beginning of this climb can be a bit daunting, especially if you are new to mountain biking or are not in as good of shape as you would like to be in. It is the kind of climb that you want to find the right gear, put your head down, but not too far down, and just pedal. For the reason you can't put your head down too far is because there are a few tricky sections that require your attention and acceleration to get up and over or around. Most of the really tricky sections have a line off to the side that is easier if you would rather do that. This part of Mary's all the way to Horsetheif and farther is a double track trail. It does narrow down to a single track later on, but what I will be riding is a double track. After the initial climb, the trail does level out, for the most part, and will continue on like this for about a mile. It weaves a bit, and there are still rocks to maneuver around, but the steep climbing is over. With that being said, settle in, enjoy the ride and the view as you make your way to the Horsetheif Bench intersection.
1.6 miles up Mary's to Horsetheif.
Once you have reached Horsetheif, you have a choice to make. How far down this crazy drop-in am I going to ride? The first time I ever reached this point, my choice was none of it. I was going to ride none of it. And the further I hiked down, the more I was sure I made the right choice, and the more I became sure this wasn't even rideable. Fast forward 5 or 6 years, and what Strava says is 16 times down, I can now make it this far, without putting a foot down. And on this day, I even went a little farther than I ever have, ending before the flat rock and the impending doom that was sure to follow if I hadn't skidded to a stop.
That's a heck of a rollout. Whew. Feel like they've changed that.
Once safely down the infamous drop-in, you have reached Horsetheif Trail proper, and the true fun can now begin. Yes, the drop-in is fun, but it is a nervous fun. This is pure fun. I take the trail in a clockwise direction, as I think most people choose to do. You will start with an undulating, flowy, weavy section of trail that keeps you on your heels. Watch out for this right-hander. It's a sharp right with a steep climb right away. If you aren't ready and in the right gear, you will be hopping off your bike and pushing it up this short, punchy climb. After you have made it up, hopefully riding, you will weave around and end up on some slick rock that will lead you to a steep drop. Do not fear. The slick rock gives you all the grip you could ever need to creep down this feature, or for taking it faster. There is a bit of a harsh finish at the bottom. If you are creeping down, you can roll it pretty easy. If you choose to hit it with speed, be prepared to pull up at the bottom as not to jam your wheel for a harsh bottom out of your fork. After this, you can relax for a bit and enjoy the twisty, sandy terrain. I am sure there are some riders that would be able to smash these corners and really carry speed through this section. I worry about washing out my front wheel in the sandy, loose turns and ride with enough speed to be fun, but not enough to wash me out. This dip and short climb mark the beginning of the rocky, technical riding that I think make up the best part of this trail. Be warned, if you do not like a rock-filled ride, this is probably not the trail for you. But if you like a challenge, if you like technical, fast, complicated riding, this is the perfect trail. This first section of rocky terrain is an introduction of what is to come. When you reach this more open, meadow-like area, the trail smooths out, gets fast and flowy and fun. Don't be fooled. The trail only stays like this for about 200 yards, then BAM! You are hit with a wide rocky section with a few lines you can take. To the far left is a drop. It is not a huge drop, but remember, you will be hitting this feature with the speed you have gained from the flow you have left behind. So be prepared to shed some of the speed, or don't, and fly off the drop with a huge smile on your face. You can take the easier line off to the far right if you would like. Believe me, either way, you will be wearing a smile. After the first drop, you will sweep left, squeeze past a tree, and hit a wide area with a couple of lines you can take. If you would like to hit another drop, stay up top to the left. If you would like to not hit the drop, go down to the right. If you do not want to hit the last drop, you can roll it or go off to the side. This funnel of fun is not over yet. You are going to make a sweeping left, which will introduce you to this section that has several lines. If you are a smasher, I am sure you can reach this point, quickly pick a line, and nail it. Whether it is to the far left and you roll down, you may choose more of a middle line and add a drop in, or go all the way to the right for the biggest drop, but a terrible entry back onto the trail because you hit the drop with speed and it's a sharp right after that. It was awesome to help this lady work through her line and watch her stomp it.
Okay. Wow! Oh! Wow, thanks!
Nice job.
Thank you!
You're welcome. Enjoy your ride.
Congrats! That is what it's all about right there. From here, you exit the funnel of fun and enter the part of the trail that has it all. There will be some flow, there will be quick downs with quick punchy ups with rocks just to make it more interesting. I've ridden this section going fast while following friends, and then I've ridden it like I did this time, with some speed, but nothing crazy. You have to be ready to take sharp turns around a tree that might be loose, to take a sharp turn and there be rocky step climbs in front of you with another one right after that.
Total wrong gear for that.
You have to be in the right gear to be able to make it up it. Even though it is single track, there are quite a few different lines you can take, which make this trail a lot of fun, and yes, the best trail in the Grand Valley. There are lots of tricky spots around every corner. I cannot emphasize enough to be ready for anything. I have ridden this trail many times and still get caught off guard in some spots. If you are more of a beginner rider, take your time, feel things out. Try different spots a few times if you don't make it the first time. This part of the trail is perfect for learning, for trying new things. Everything is doable in this section with enough practice.
Try to stay up on this rock. My rear tire slid off.
You will soon reach Dead Cow Point. Dead Cow Point leads you into the most technically challenging and for many downright terrifying sections of Horsetheif. There are a series of very steep, narrow rock clusters to ride down if you so choose. A theme of mine is the first time I saw an obstacle that was this technical and hard, I say, I didn't even know that was rideable. This section lives up to that, mostly. It looked rideable, it just didn't look rideable by me. That has changed. If you find the right line and trust yourself and your bike, you can do it. I still get butterflies every time. It is still scary, but I trust my line, my bike, and myself, and I make both parts of this crazy section every time now. The same cannot be said for this next part. This steep, short climb leads into a rocky, slow, very tricky section that pushes you into a narrow bridge-like feature with a drop-off to the left that then guides you straight towards these steps. If you have managed to make it this far, Give yourself a lot of credit, because just getting to these steps and still be riding your bike is an accomplishment all on its own. If you want to add the trophy to your case, making it up the rocky stairs is what it'll take. I have made these exactly one time. Today, I wasn't even setting out to care about making them, but after my first attempt went better than anticipated, I crossed back over the bridge and took another shot at it. Then another, and another, and another. Each time I felt like I could make it. Then, I did. I have now made it up that feature exactly 2 times. Pretty stoked. Do not feel defeated by not trying this whole section. From the crazy rocky drop-in to the scary narrow bridge with the cliff to the rocky steps. No one will think less of you for walking all this and getting back on your bike for the climb up the wash. If I've ridden this trail 15 times, I've walked that bridge probably 9 or 10 of them. Even though I know I can make it, there are still days where I am not feeling it and I walk across. The climb up the wash isn't too difficult. There are some step-ups to manage, but nothing crazy. Just a good workout. Once you reach the top of the wash, you have the chance for one last drop before continuing your climb and then hitting some flowy, windy, fast single track. You will then make your way into another wash in which you will use to climb most of the way back to the entrance of Horsetheif. There are some fun areas with some downhill flow and a side hit or two off to the side of the trail. Then you have completed the loop and have to find your way back up the drop-in. Unless you are Jeff Lenosky, you will probably have to hike a bike to the top. Once back at the top, if you want to add some more miles to your ride, take a left on Mary's and continue on your merry way. Or, if you have had almost all the fun you could have possibly have had already, take a right and head back down Mary's. Now, the reason I say almost all the fun you could have had is because once you have worked your way across the flat ridge of Mary's and make it to where it starts pointing down, there's a lot more fun to be had. This is a fast, loose, and scary section of trail to descend. Make sure you have a good grip on your bars, a finger or two on your brakes, and let her rip. Let your bike do its job. You look ahead and make sure you are ready for the next thing, as well as making sure you are watching for people climbing up. It is a double track, but there is a well-worn-in path that both climbers and descenders tend to ride in. Once you have, hopefully, survived the descent, make your way back to your car and soak in all the fun you have just had.
Thank you so much for joining me today on the best trail in the valley, Horsetheif Bench. I think just the fun factor of it all is, to me, what makes it the best trail. You can challenge yourself, come with some buddies, session some of those sections that are more difficult, push yourself. And if you're, a little more of an advanced rider, you can kind of fly through all that stuff and just enjoy it. That funnel of drops, I ride that trail for that section. It's just so fun. Even today when I was, sessioning that session, even today when I was sessioning that section for this video, I was going off of some of those drops a few times. It's just so fun. So if you liked this video, please hit that like button. Leave a comment below. Right? I'm probably totally wrong that Horsetheif is the best trail in the valley. So tell me, what do you think is the best trail in the valley and why? So yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. And until next time, everybody, have a good one.